I organised this convention because in Australia we have a big country, and origami is a bit of a niche hobby and a niche craft. So you might only get one or two people doing it in really sparse places, I guess. So we want to bring the people together so they basically can talk to their tribe. My name is Winnie Leung. I'm the president of Sydney Origami. I design origami in my spare time. I have a full-time job. I have a 10-year-old son, so that really means I don't get much time to do origami except for during school holidays.
My name is Mitani and I'm from Japan. I live in near Tokyo. I'm very happy and I'm very honored to have this wonderful opportunity to have a workshop and a talk with the member of Australian origami community.
I'm Xander Perrot and I'm from New Zealand but currently living in Melbourne where I focus on modular origami. So modular origami is like regular origami, the folding of paper, but uses more than one piece of paper. So rather than folding the entire structure from a single piece of paper, this piece is actually composed of 30 different pieces of paper all folded and slotted together.
Having come from Hong Kong and having a bit of an Asian background, it's just something that kids did in primary school. The family taught me a few basic models, and a lot of other kids actually taught me the models they learned from their family. So it was a bit of a community thing. Neither of my parents were crafty. My mother did not do origami, my father did not do origami. It was actually my grandmother who taught me how to do origami. And there was also a practical application of origami from my grandmother, because there's a little bit of like ancestor, not so much worship, but paying your respect to your ancestors. And as part of that, you would actually fold pretend paper-based gold ingots. And the family would just, they're very basic folding, and the family would just sit in a circle and fold them and then put them in a bag, and they are all burnt as offerings. So people would spend an afternoon folding and then burn the lot.
I'm a professor of the Tsukuba University in Japan, and my specialty is computer science, and my specific field is computer graphics. So I focused on how to design the 3D model based on some mathematics on a computer. And I also interested in the geometry of origami. Actually, when I was a kid, I do not like origami. So, but I loved to use computers. And when I was a university student, I learned about the three-dimensional geometry, and I noticed that the origami is a very good target.
It's certainly a hobby that has lasted a lot longer than my other hobbies, but for me, there are still a lot of things that I can explore.
Because origami is a good tool to have a communication with other people. So without origami, I cannot communicate with these foreign people. So
it's impossible to get a single thing folded without thinking, oh, well, what would happen if you change this? And I think especially as a designer, when you get in the habit of designing things, you just find designs come to you and sort of need to be folded. They spring to mind, and you really have to follow through and find out what happens. It's such a passion.